Hello everyone, this is StrawberryShorty back with Otogirisou. Even after we returned to the mansion, Nami looked gloomy, because we just found her name written on the greenhouse in red. I felt sorry for her. Why did she have to see that? I gotta check the volume. It was all my fault. How could I make her feel better? Oh, that's it. Hey, I said to her cheerfully. What? Feel like using their shower? Yeah, that'll cheer her up. Let's use the shower in the haunted house. What could ever go wrong? What? Nami looked at me, stunned. You're covered in mud after all. But... It's fine. I think they might have one over that way. I went on ahead. Turning right down the hallway, I reached a frosted glass door. This is it. I grabbed the handle. It was totally dark inside. I shined my flashlight in and... just as I thought, it was a bathroom. There was a white sink and a large mirror on the left. On the other side was a Western-style toilet next to a sliding glass door. The shower was probably on the other side of that door. Hey, all right, let's start by washing our hands, huh? I went over to the sink. Or B, you can wash your hands first, Nami. I let Nami go before me. I'll do it first because I want my hands washed. Plus, B makes it sound like we're sacrificing her. All right, let's start by washing our hands, huh? I went over to the sink. The sink had a long, curved faucet. For some reason, maybe due to the seal on the faucet getting old, water continued to drip from it constantly. I turned the faucet on. The white sink became stained red. It's blood! It's blood. Nami clung to my shoulder. No, it's not. It's rust. It's just rust. The red water started to clear up. The pipes have got to be getting pretty old. Hey, it's already better. I rinsed my hands in the running water. Nami seemed to be getting edgy. I wanted to help her get back to the way she was before. Hey, there isn't any soap here, is there? You must want soap, yeah, Nami? Oh, I'm fine with just water. There was something odd about her modest reply. Nami was normally the type who'd insist on using soap. We're in a haunted murder house. Hey, maybe we should check the bath? I cast my gaze to the sliding glass door there, or B, even if you don't want any soap, I do. I jokingly threw a fit about it. I'll say A, we need to make sure the bath is safe. Maybe we should check the bath. I cast my gaze to the sliding glass door there. Oh, I'll go take a look. Oh, I'll go take a look. Nami entered the shower room. I'll switch over here, okay? I opened the cabinet beside the mirror. It was dusty, as though it hadn't been used in a long time. There was a toothbrush with yellow bristles and a tube of toothpaste that was sealed despite being totally flat and empty. A woman's razor was there too, but it looked like it hadn't been used in a long while. It was rusty and had small bits of hair stuck to it. I was grossed out by it, and I closed the cabinet. I glanced at the mirror and saw Nami's face there. I looked at Nami's face in the mirror as I asked her, Did you find any soap? No. Nami's voice echoed from the shower. Oh. Huh? I turned around, surprised. What's wrong? What's that weird look for? Nami said as she came out of the shower room. Nami, you were in there the whole time, right? Yeah, why? There's no way I could have seen her reflection in the mirror while she was in the shower room. Did something happen? Nami's expression darkened. I wouldn't say that exactly. My answer was intentionally vague. I didn't want to scare her any more than she already was. Plus, it's possible that I might have just been seeing things. So yeah, how about that soap? I smiled and returned to the topic at hand. There wasn't any. How about here, then? I squatted down and opened the doors under the sink. There's the creepy music again. Ugh. A very unpleasant, rotten, and muddy odor drifted out from inside. I held my breath and looked in. An S-shaped pipe ran down the center, and on the right of it were cleaning fluids, pesticides, shampoo bottles, and plastic bags strewn about like junk. It was as if the water from the old pipes had mixed together with dust and chemicals that had spilled out of the fallen bottles. Made me want to throw up. Would they really keep soap in a place like this? I don't think so. I took out a big plastic box that I found on the left side of the pipe. Inside of it was a wooden box with a cross on it. This must be a medicine box, yeah? There's something underneath it. This must be a medicine box, yeah? There's something underneath it. Hold the medicine box up, Nami. Nami grabbed the handle of the medicine box and lifted it up. The moment she did, 4 bugs with black greasy lucky wings crawled up from under the box. Yeah, cockroaches! Nami screamed and hurled the medicine box onto the floor. When the box hit the floor, the lid flew open, scattering some medicine bottles and packets across the floor. The bugs vanished into an instant into corners of the room and under the door. Ugh. They were gone. The medicine scattered everywhere. I laughed as I rushed to stop the rolling bottles of medicine.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
No, that's a normal reaction, Nami.
Oh, I'll pick it up.
Nami kneeled down and started putting all of the medicine back in its place. Hey, there aren't any more of them, are there? The bugs, I mean. I don't think there are. Hey, there it is. The soap. I stood up and turned on the faucet. Why was there soap in the medicine thing? Nami was still picking up the medicine that had scattered everywhere.
Go ahead and wash your hands first now that we found the soap.
Okay. Sounded like a half-hearted reply. I don't know who's speaking. Wouldn't be getting such medicine with dirty hands anyway, after all. I guess we're saying it to her. True. Nami stood next to me and started washing her hands. As he washed the mud from our hands and arms, I watched the dirty black water spiraling down and getting swallowed up by the drain.
Hey, Shorty.
What?
Something occurred to me when I was putting the medicine back.
Like, what's the point of showering when our clothes are soaking wet and muddy?
There were a lot of unfamiliar types of medicine in there.
Unfamiliar?
I'd never seen them before.
A, show me. I was a little interested. Or B, there have got to be as many medicines as there are illnesses, I said. But I was more interested in whether or not we'd be able to use the shower. No, I don't really... I think B, honestly, because really, how many types of medicine do any of us know? But if we look at them, maybe they'll say things on them. So let's look. Show me. I was a little interested.
Hold on a second, okay?
Now he plucked up a couple different kinds of medicine.
See for yourself.
It looks like toothpaste. I took one of them, a tube of some sort of medicine, and read the label. Chloromycetin, formulated fibrinolysin. What's that? I opened the cap and squeezed the tube. Some white cream came out.
Looks like it's some sort of anti-itch cream.
It didn't have that distinctive peppermint odor, though, and other than the hard-to-pronounce name on the label, nothing else was written on it. I read another tube's label. Vitamin E fortified sulfonamide. Nami suddenly looked shocked.
Sulfonamide was used as a defoliant during the Vietnam War.
A defoliant? Why would they have a vitamin E fortified defoliant? I have no idea what that means. The label stated what it was used for. No, it looks like it's used to treat burns. Let's check out some of the other medicines, too. I was getting curious. Topical coagulant, heparin, sulcocerol. These are all keloid drugs. To be clear, I wasn't familiar with any of this beforehand. It was just written there on the labels. Now he picked up one of the medicines on the floor and popped off the lid.
Hey, look. It's a weird color.
The plastic container was simple and round, and it contained purple gel capsules. Is that a weird color? I've never seen medicine this color before. But then again, I guess I haven't really seen any of this sort of medicine before either.
Right?
Nami gave me a smile I could only describe as triumphant. But there sure are a lot of cream-type medicines here, aren't there? They all seem to be treatments for burns.
Did somebody who lives here get burned?
It wouldn't explain why there are so many varieties, though. Well, they're trying different kinds to see what works. Well, whatever. Now that this is all cleaned up, let's take a shower already.
Oh, wait a minute. There's still one more on the floor over there.
A small and brown glass bottle had rolled onto the floor. Its cap was open. It's empty, yeah?
No, there's something light yellow in there. Could this be a cream, too?
There was only a small smattering of the goopy light yellow medicine in there. A handwritten label had been stuck on the bottle. The paper looked really old. I think I hear music. Yeah, it's really quiet. Audio in this game. The paper looked really old, worn, and discolored. Acronol. Tinct? Not sure. It's hard to read because the label's all worn out. Acronolinctic oil? You know what that is?
It's another kind of burn medication.
How'd you know that? Nami looked surprised, as if she thought it was common knowledge.
What do you mean, how? That sort of medicine has been around for so long.
I don't know any burn medicine, so... Are you sure about that? Maybe you're getting the wrong idea, like earlier when you thought it was a defoliant. Maybe when she thought it was, wasn't it? I gave a mean-spirited laugh, and Nami snatched the bottle away from me and closed it up in the medicine box.
If you don't believe me, then fine.
I'm kidding. I believe you. I totally do. Anyway, it really was another burn medication after all. I stood up, tilting my head to the side, and opened the glass door to go inside. The floor was covered in light blue tiles, and a white Western-style bathtub was there. There were tiles on the walls too, but they were all cracked and had black mildew growing all over them, to the point where it was hard to even see the tiles. The shower was small, considering how big the mansion was. After getting out of the tub, there was only enough room to dry yourself off. Maybe this is normal for a Western-style bathroom. They do tend to be small.
We won't be able to take a shower together, will we?
I think that's us saying that. We won't be able to take a shower together, will we? What?
Did you say something?
No, nothing at all.
I'll be fine taking a shower alone.
You heard what I said, huh? Then we stepped into the shower room.
Hey, I wonder if this place has hot water.
I tried turning the shower handle just a little. As I expected, the water came out red and cold.
So I guess that's a no?
I turned the handle even more, almost giving up on the idea. But no, after a while, the water cleared up as it started to warm up. Now it sounds like a waterfall! I put my hand under the water. It's nice and warm.
Is it?
Nami reached out to touch it too. A mean impulse kicked in and I flipped the hot water off. Nami glared at me just a little, and she retreated to the bathroom. We shouldn't be picking on her in this situation. Are you mad? She didn't reply. Back in the bathroom, she moved to take the towel hanging at the side. You're going to use their towel?
What's the big deal? I'll just dry myself off with it after I'm clean.
I don't know if I'd be using towels hanging around in this place with everything wrong with it, though I guess they don't have a lot of options.
It's no different from drying your hands,
she said curtly, walked past me, and proceeded to the shower. You're going to shower in your clothes?
I'll take them off inside, obviously.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll go first.
Nami shut the door. Oh, this door is tight. It won't shut all the way. The sliding door rattled around, not shutting as it should. What are you so upset about? Who cares if it doesn't shut all the way? Just leave it like that.
But then I can't lock it.
She gave me a scared look.
Don't peek, okay?
I won't peek.
You promised. If you peek, we're through.
Yeah. In the end, she had to shower without locking the door. Through the frosted glass, I could faintly see her hang up her towel and take off her clothes. Don't be looking! I was glad that Nami seemed like she was back to normal, and just then a thought occurred to me. A, I tried not to look, as I'd promised. B, can I join you in there? I tried asking. Or C, I'd made the promise by word of mouth. These hands played no role in it, so they reached out to the glass door. Wow. A, I tried not to look, as I'd promised. Oh, right. We forgot our change of clothes. I'm going to get our stuff at the entrance. Yeah, bye, Nami. Enjoy showering here alone in the haunted house. We're going to get this girl killed. Be right back. I called out to Nami and left the sink. This is a bad idea. I picked up my bag, sighed, and looked around the entrance hall. It was quiet. Probably the sounds again. I looked at the clock there and saw that it pointed to just about 10 o'clock. All sorts of weird stuff has been happening here, but I think we'll be able to make it to morning somehow. Oh, something's moving. Is it the armor? There it was again, the sound of that armor. I looked at where the suit of armor should have been, and it was gone. The sound seemed to be coming from the bathroom. I returned to the hall. Should have left her alone. The sound seemed to be moving away from me, as if the armor had turned down the hall. I started running. But just as I approached the front of the bathroom, I suddenly heard Nami scream from inside. Ah! What's wrong, Nami? I opened the bathroom door in a panic. I came into the room at the exact same time that Nami hopped out of the shower. Nami's wet white skin pierced my eyes. She was totally naked. She looked straight into my eyes. Nami squatted down.
Get out! Get out!
She had curled up and shouted as loud as she could. Sorry. I flew out into the hallway.
Turn around.
Okay, sure. Nami noisily shut the glass door. Hey, are you okay? What happened? You know that wasn't on purpose, right? I was worried about you. It was true that I was worried about her. It's also true that I felt lucky to see what I saw.
No, don't come in right now. Absolutely not.
Do you have burn scars, Nami? Her voice still had an edge to it. I tried to calm her down with a softer tone of voice. I know. I won't go in until you say it's okay. Are you all right, though? You said it was hot. You didn't get burned, did you?
I'm fine. I got hit by a little hot water. Just hold on a second.
What happened?
The water got so hot all of a sudden. I tried to stop it, but it just kept pouring out. And it's so cramped in there, there was nowhere to run, so I flew right out of the shower.
It must have happened because this place is so run down. Are you okay? You didn't get burned, did you?
I'm fine. I got out right away after all.
Oh, I'll leave the clothes bag here. I set the bag in front of the glass door. The door opened slightly and Nami reached for it.
Oh, good.
Nami spoke up after staying silent for a while. There was a lot of steam drifting from inside, and the lukewarm steam stuck to my skin. Nami had already finished changing and started drying her hair in front of the mirror. I like the water sound. Sounds like rain. Her cheeks blushed, having come right out of the shower. Sorry about what happened earlier.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I peeked into the shower room. There was still a lot of steam, and the shower was still spraying out hot water. I reached out and touched it. Ow! It's boiling.
Told you.
If you'd stayed a second later, you would have been badly burned. Oh, right. Maybe that's why there was so much burn medication in there, huh? Yeah, our shower's real hot. We gotta make sure we have burn medication on hand. A mini light bulb started flickering above my head.
Oh, but it doesn't add up. Why would they only treat their wounds? Wouldn't people generally fix the bath?
Well, I can't talk about what goes on in a stranger's house. I'm just glad we're okay.
What should we do, though? It's too hot to reach in there and turn off the shower. We can't just leave it running, either.
Oh, that's it. I remembered seeing a big machine out in the back. Judging by where I saw it, I wondered if it might have been the boiler. Yes, let's go back out in the rain after we just took a shower. I'll go take a quick look at the boiler room.
There was a boiler room?
I saw something that might have been. I'll go take a look.
Will you be okay?
I'll be fine. I'll be back before you know it, I said, and then I left the bathroom. We saw a suit of armor moving on its own. We saw a mummy moving on its own. But yeah, we're just going to leave her again. I don't know how either of us is surviving this. I passed through the dark hallway and through the iron door, remembering the sound of the suit of armor. Could it be just beyond the door? I gulped and turned the doorknob. I opened the door as quickly as I could and jumped backwards. Nothing was there. Phew. The rain had almost entirely stopped. Guess I better get going, huh? I was about to step out when a hand grabbed me by the shoulder. Oh my gosh. Ah! It was Nami. What's the big idea? I shouted at her.
Can you blame me? I was scared all by myself.
She spoke to me in a sweet voice. I think this isn't Nami. Can I just ask you not to surprise me? I think you shaved 10 years off my lifespan just now.
Oh, come on.
Okay, I know. Should we go together?
I'll get dirty again if I go back out, though.
What do you expect me to do then?
Don't get mad. Where is that boiler room anyway?
You can see the light from the bathroom over there, right? It looks like there's a room leading down underneath it.
So it's close?
I guess.
I'll stay here then. Just come back quickly.
What? Weren't you just saying how close it is? Aren't you coming along? Why would she just showered?
I don't want to get muddy again.
After taking another look at Nami, I noticed that she wasn't wearing any shoes. Oh, right. I see. I'll get going then. I headed down the concrete steps.
Come back here if anything dangerous happens, okay?
What kind of dangerous things do you think will happen? I walked along, my left hand touching the wall. As I walked, I heard the sound of wet leaves jostling. Of the wet leaves I was jostling. Eventually the wall suddenly opened up to reveal the entrance. There was sound. I swear, they really need to work on the sound volume in this game. I went down the dark staircase, shining my flashlight ahead. There in the darkness I saw a large and smooth silver machine. Several metallic pipes came out of the top and went right through the walls and ceiling. Just as I thought, it's the boiler. I shined the flashlight to take a closer look at the device before me. What's up with this? The temperature needle was set to over 80 degrees Celsius. That's 176 degrees Fahrenheit. Even now, it was climbing higher. It was only just getting warmed up earlier. I'd hate to think what would have happened to Nami if she'd been hit by the water now. I felt a chill run down my spine. Having found the temperature control knob, I found myself surprised once more. The dial had been set to a whopping 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Why was it set this high? And what's more, it was making a weird noise. Who knows? Maybe the boiler was as old as the house itself. I turned the knob down about halfway, to 40 degrees Celsius. Now we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
How did it go?
Nami asked me when I made it back. I found out the problem there. The boiler's temperature was set to 100 degrees Celsius.
What?
Nami was stunned. Hugh got out right away, so I'm guessing it was up to about 50 degrees at that time. You know what it was when I got to the boiler? 80 degrees. That would have killed you. Probably shouldn't tell her that. I started talking a little faster as I headed back into the mansion.
Why would anyone set it to 100 degrees? It'd be too hot to get in.
Don't ask me. But it should be fine now. I set it back down to 40. Should be back to normal soon enough.
I'll pass on another shower. It's too scary, and I got the mud off me already.
Hey, it's your call. You already changed too, yeah? We returned to the bathroom.
I wonder if the temperature really went down.
I opened the shower sliding door. Whoa. At that moment, hot steam blasted out at me. The steam was white. It looked just like a cloud, but the temperature of the shower's water had already gone down. I reached out and turned it off. It's off now, anyway.
Glad that's settled.
Maui chuckled.
Hey, what time is it?
I guess we're just going to stay muddy. I remembered seeing the clock earlier. I think it's just past 10. Huh? Weren't you wearing a watch, Nami?
I guess I must have dropped it somewhere. I know I had it when we were in the dining room, though.
Oh? Well, I'll help you look for it, but, I made an effort to put on a weak expression. Sorry, but would you actually mind if I took a shower first? That steam made me really want to take a shower. I'll be out in 5 minutes tops. The water's already warm, after all. It shouldn't be a problem.
You don't need to explain yourself. Oh, right. Just wait a second first.
Nami went into the shower and took her shorts and polo shirt and squeezed them out. That's what she was wearing earlier, before the shower.
There must be a problem with the pipes. The water isn't going down.
I looked down. The level seemed to have dropped a bit, but the water didn't appear to be going down. Is something stuck in the pipes? I checked around to see if there was a plug, but I couldn't find anything. I peered through a gap in the wall drain on the tub. Yuck! Long black hair had clumped together and waved in the water like seaweed. It was too long to be Nami's hair. This must be what had plugged it up. It creeped me out, making me think of a drowned body. I hesitated for a moment, closed my eyes, and plunged my right hand into the warm water. I could feel the long, thin hair tickle my hand and fingers. It's always long hair. I forced myself not to pay attention to it and grabbed dozens of strands, then I gave them a tug. I felt like part of it opened up, some of the strands of hair having been ripped off. I pulled it a good while, sometimes weakly, sometimes harder, and everything in between. Eventually, the hair split in two clumps, and far more hair than I ever imagined plopped up from under the water. The wet hair that I pulled up was all twisted together. It looked like some kind of wild animal. I gritted my teeth and left the room. Nami took a look at what I'd pulled out, covered her mouth with her hands, and looked away. I don't blame her. It was filthy and muddy. The word disgusting wasn't enough to capture it. I threw it all into a trash can just beside the sink and rolled out a ton of toilet paper that was hung on the wall to wipe all of the hair off my arms. Maybe someone got a haircut recently? I said, playing dumb, trying to brush aside how creeped out I was. But it wasn't just a joke. It's hard to believe that much hair could clump together just from hair that fell out naturally. I washed my hands using water from the sink and more soap than I normally use. How does it look now? Is it still clogged?
The water's starting to go down.
Great. There might still be hair in there, but as long as it's good enough for me to take a shower, I'm okay with it. All I know is I never want to touch it again. All right, I'm going in. I'll get out as soon as I can. Sorry if somebody comes back home in the meantime.
Okay.
Nami turned to the sink and started washing her own clothes. I forced the door to close, putting a little muscle into it, and heard it snap shut completely. Oh, that's great. We're going to be trapped in here. Hey, it does shut after all, huh? The water was hot, but it wouldn't be so hot that I couldn't get in anymore. I slowly climbed into the tub. I splashed some warm water against my face and let out a big sigh. I felt like I'd been brought back from the dead. Aren't we showering instead of taking a bath? The owner of the house might as well not come back at this point. We could get some rest and be out of here in the morning. How are we going to get out? I felt better, and so did my thoughts. Though what I was thinking was pretty selfish. It won't be that easy, though, will it? I twisted the handle to turn on the shower. The water wasn't ridiculously hot anymore. It felt nice. I'd been careless, though. I'd forgotten the soap and towel. I rubbed off the mud that was on my feet using my hands. The mud turned the water dark. It's a Western-style bath for you. I could say whatever I wanted using somebody else's bath. I liked how it made me feel. Okay, it's about time I got out, huh? I said it extra loud so Nami would be able to hear, but there was no reaction in the other room. I knocked on the door. I'm coming out. No response. Weird. Did she go somewhere? Oh, I know. She's hiding so she can surprise me. With that in mind, I put my hand on the door and said, I know you're there. But the door wouldn't open. It opened wide enough to maybe get a finger through, but then it snapped shut again. Come on, I know you're just screwing around with me. Open up. Convinced that Nami was holding the door shut, I rattled the door, tapped it, and pulled at it, but it really did start to seem like Nami wasn't even there. It must be because I forced the door shut. I tried lifting the door and pushing it in all sorts of different directions. And no matter what I did, the door would only rattle. It showed no sign of opening. Suddenly, hot water from the shower that I knew I turned off came back on. I knew this would happen. I tested the handle and confirmed that it had been completely turned off. You've got to be kidding me. I had a bad feeling about this. Nami! Open the door! Nami! I shouted out as loud as I could, but there was no response. I looked down and saw a metal bar about the size of a stick of chewing gum had been wedged in the rail of the sliding door. What's this? It had been put there to prevent the door from opening. Clearly, this thing was the reason I couldn't open the door. I tried to remove it, but only ended up hurting my thumb. It was no good. What am I supposed to do now? I checked the window, but it was too small. I wouldn't be able to fit through it. My bad premonition turned out to be spot on. The hot water pouring out of the shower was getting hotter, and the white steam was getting thicker. It started getting hard to breathe, and I couldn't take it anymore. I got out by breaking through the glass. How strong are we? Wait a minute. As I was changing my clothes, a scary sort of vision came to me. Did we not get hurt at all breaking the glass? The temperature went up slowly this time, so I was fine. But what if the door had totally shut on Nami? Fortunately, she wasn't strong enough to shut the door all the way, but what if I'd gone in before her? I started to get worried about Nami. I mean, the same thing would have happened. Like, it would have been shut and one of us would have burst through it. I started to get worried about Nami. A, it's possible she went looking for her watch. I headed to the dining room. B, maybe she's sleeping on the sofa. I went to the entrance hall. I would say dining room. I don't know why she'd go sleep on the sofa. It's possible she went looking for her watch. I headed to the dining room. But Nami wasn't there. I went inside just in case and even looked around the kitchen further in, but as expected, she wasn't there. Where could she have gone? I saw a flash of white clothing in the hallway. In a panic, I turned and faced the door, but all I saw was the hem of a white dress. Who's that? I ran off in pursuit as fast as I could. Still, there wasn't any trace of anybody in the hallway. Weird. Nami would never wear anything like that. Those cobwebs on the fireplace before. Without anywhere else to go, I wound up back at the entrance. I could hear someone talking from the second floor. I listened hard, but then I suddenly couldn't hear anything. It's odd. I'm pretty sure I heard someone just now. I quietly headed up to the second floor. Doesn't seem like it's going very well. At the top of the stairs, I could hear someone talking again from the other side of the hallway. As I got closer, the voices became increasingly clear. It seemed to be a conversation between a young man and a young woman. Did whoever owns this house come back? The voices sounded cheerful. I wondered if all of the creepy stuff that went on here was just some sort of misunderstanding. If that were true, then how would we ever be able to explain to them everything we'd been doing here? I felt conflicted as I stepped toward the room before me. I want to listen in. Figured I should start with an apology. I lifted my arm, about to knock on the door, but the conversation was suddenly cut short. The door opened slightly. Did they notice I was here? I froze up and waited for them to appear. A white hand appeared from the gap in the door. A girl's hand. I spoke without thinking. The person inside suddenly drew back. She also seemed to be at a loss for words, but in the next instant, she was suddenly apologizing. I'm sorry, Huh? It was Nami's voice, oh. I'm sorry, What? Nami?
Shorty?
I opened the door fully and saw Nami standing there. You've got to be kidding me.
What?
The tension I was feeling was gone. What were you doing? I thought the owners of the house came back.
I did too. Don't surprise me like that.
Why'd you even come to a place like this? I was so worried about you when you weren't there after I got out of the shower.
You don't understand. Just listen.
Nami's eyes started to sparkle, like she was about to tell me about some sort of grand adventure.
I went looking for my watch.
I was right.
And I heard talking. I figured the owners of the house came back.
Same here. That's why I came up here.
And the thing is...
Nami laughed and slapped my shoulder.
It's so weird. Just listen, okay?
I'm listening.
What do you think it was?
Who knows?
Exactly, so listen.
I already told you, I'm listening. She was starting to irritate me.
I nervously knocked on the door.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't respond, though. They just kept talking, and I opened the door, and then...
And then? Don't laugh, just hurry up and tell me.
Nobody was there. So what do you think it might have been?
Stop screwing around with me, all right? I'm worried here. I raised my voice at her.
Sorry,
Nami cut her sentence short and changed her posture as if she was about to announce some very important news. She's acting weird.
It was a radio.
Here's her music. No. Okay. A radio?
See? Right there.
Nami pointed to a black radio in the middle of the room. Right. Well, then why didn't you come back down afterwards? I was worried.
Yeah, about that.
Nami looked on top of the dresser. Dolls! They're so cute! There were 2 Western-style dolls that had been placed there. Both of the dolls were wearing the exact same outfit, a red cloth jumper skirt. It's clearly pink.
I feel like I've seen these dolls somewhere before.
These dolls? I picked them up.
Let me have them.
Nami took them very delicately with both hands and pressed both of them against her cheeks. Huh? Nami looked so relaxed. It was a face I'd never seen her make before. Are they twins? That's what I was thinking when he saw Nami's face in the mirror. Are you okay?
These dolls feel familiar somehow. They make me feel like a kid again.
They just look like dolls to me, but I guess it's because I'm a guy.
No, I wouldn't say that. These are special.
Nami closed her eyes, lost in the moment. I'll never understand women. Well, anyway, I saw someone kind of like a doll earlier. I'm guessing she's the owner of this house.
Yeah?
I think it was a lady in a white dress. Nami looked at me. She seemed as though she was still dreaming. It concerns me a little, so I'd like to go back down and check everything out. I turned to leave.
Okay.
Nami reached out and placed the dolls back, like she was handling some great treasure. As she left the room, she waved sadly at the dolls.
Bye-bye.
I think Nami's connected to whatever happened here. All right, let's continue our search, shall we?
Yeah.
Nami still seemed a little out of it as we headed downstairs. This door seemed suspicious. It was the door at the front of the entrance hall. Maybe the lady in the white dress went through it earlier. I opened the door. Oh, great. Great music. We continued deeper into a long, dark room. It's like a tunnel, huh? There were candlesticks lined up against the bare stone wall. I turned on my flashlight. There was a door in the back. If we open that door... Nami started muttering. Yeah?
We'll be back in the entrance hall again. Like we went back in time.
Huh?
This hallway is a tunnel that goes back into the past.
She said this with a serious look on her face. You're not making any sense. I paid her no mind and continued along. The door was a sliding shutter type. I could feel the wind outside blowing through the gap. The floor right in front of the door was soaking wet. Once we open this, we'll be back in the entrance hall, right? I opened the door. Whoa! Suddenly I felt something cold softly touch my face. It was a cluster of vines, wet from the rain. I pushed my way through the vines and made my way out. Ugh. There I found a balcony facing the back garden. Wooden scaffolding had been set up there a long time ago. It had become worn down over the years. In the center was a single wooden table that had started to rot, with 3 deck chairs set around it. Each had been turned to face in a different direction. There was an overhead trellis with vines hanging down, making it look like the entrance to a haunted house. The rain had stopped, but water still dripped from the vines, hitting my face and shoulders. What an awesome entrance, huh? I had intended to be cynical, but it seemed like Nami hadn't heard me. She suddenly tugged at my hand and pointed to one of the pillars holding up the trellis.
Hey, look at that.
Hmm?
Isn't there something shining there?
It's true. That beam looked like a long, thin shadow, and I could see a dim yellow light near the bottom. It didn't seem like a flame or electric light. It was a gentle light with some kind of sheen to it. Is it the spirit of Princess Kaguya?
I thought you'd say that.
I walked up to the pillar. Oh, it's fluorescent paint. Uh-oh. That means a murder. 2 lines about as thick as my finger had been drawn with some space between them, one over the other. But why here of all places? I bent down and turned the light toward the lower line. paint had dried on top of the wooden pillar's original paint, making it appear crusty. A straight line had been painted over it, with fluorescent paint. And upon closer inspection, it seemed that something had been used, perhaps a nail, to etch something in the wood, a straight line along with what appeared to be letters to the right of it. What's this? Something's written here. Is it Nami again? I strained my eyes to see what it was. But it was old and worn out, and crusted with paint, so it was too hard to see. We'll be able to read it if we scratch off the paint, Nami said as she started scratching away at the paint with her fingernail. It was fun watching her hard at work, peeling away the paint, and soon the pillar revealed what was written underneath. Nami, caught it! That's what had been carved there. I felt like there was something black in the pit of my stomach. Nami stopped moving her finger the moment she saw it, but then went right back to peeling away the paint. Hey, Nami. I tapped her on the shoulder from behind, but she ignored me and kept working on scratching away the paint. She ended up scratching off the paint up to centimeters above and below the painted area. Most of the old paint had been totally scratched off. There were actually 2 lines underneath both sets of lines, for a total of 4 in all, and beside each line was a name. The names Nami, Naomi, Naomi, and Nami had been carved in that order. Nami and Naomi sound like twin names. Slowly, Nami looked back at me. I think I hear music again. She had a stoic expression on her face.
Comparing heights.
Huh? Oh, right. I see.
I wonder who Naomi is.
Hmm?
Well, I'm Nami, right? But who's Naomi?
Hey, what are you talking about? I gave Nami's shoulder an exaggerated slug. That's just the name of the girl who lives here. You're overthinking it. Not she has a twin sister and something happened.
Am I?
You are. It's just a coincidence. What's wrong with you, Nami? You're not acting like yourself. Boy, I wonder why. Not like anything strange has been happening in this house. You look really dark, too.
I hope it's just a coincidence, but what about that lady you mentioned earlier, the one in the white dress?
Huh?
She looked like me, didn't she?
I didn't see her face.
Oh.
All sorts of questions came to mind. A, why would Nami's name be in a place like this? B, who was Naomi? C, what did Nami mean by that? I actually meant to say the previous line, who was Naomi, but why would Nami's name be in a place like this? Nami. Nami looked intently at the height comparison lines. She seemed pale. I knew we had to get away from this place, first and foremost. Come on, let's go inside. We just got soaked from those vines, and right after our bath.
But
Nami still had a dark expression on her face. Also, I don't even know if we could get back to that spot easily. Like, there doesn't seem to be a skip option here. Although maybe that arrow up top would do it, but I don't know. That's part of the emulator, not the game. I brought my mouth up to Nami's ears. We could take a shower together this time, you know.
don't be stupid.
She finally laughed a little. All right, let's go. I'm going to try, because I want to pick the option I wanted to pick. Okay, finally got back here. So, the arrow up ahead just speeds up the game in general, which did make getting back to this point way easier, but subsequent playthroughs aren't going to be that fun. This was definitely before skip red options were a thing, apparently. So I want to pick who is Naomi. Who is Naomi? Nami. I stopped before I asked her the question. There was no point. You must be tired, huh? Let's head back. I tugged at her hand.
I'm not tired.
Nami wouldn't move her gaze from the height comparison lines. Well, I am tired. So tired. Oh boy, am I ever tired. I spoke in an exaggerated tone as I headed to the entrance hall. Nami followed behind me. I'm beat. I lounged on the sofa, totally relaxed.
You're acting like an old man.
So what if I am? I'm really tired after all. I took a quick look at what was in front of me and saw a huge tapestry set upon the wall over the fireplace. 3 people were standing in a field, dressed in foreign clothing. The artwork was very stylized, so there was no way to know if the people were male or female, or even how old they were. Still, the image was able to convey that they were enjoying themselves. My eyes passed over the table in front of me. An image of 3 people playing together was etched there as well. I wonder why there were 3 people.
Huh? Did you say something?
Oh, well. I could hear a piano being played. Who's playing that?
It's coming from over there.
We headed down the hallway to the left. I could hear the sound coming from the door on the right side of the hall.
They won't stop playing.
What should we do? We opened the door. It was pitch black inside. I shined my flashlight around the room. The white circle of light revealed bookshelves, a table, and eventually a grand piano. But nobody was sitting in front of it.
The piano's playing itself.
Nami clung to my arm. Don't tell me. I found the light switch on the wall. Turning on the light settled some of my unease. I approached the piano. I could see that the keys were moving up and down despite nobody touching them. I looked at the floor and saw that the piano was plugged into an electrical outlet. It's okay. It's just a player piano.
Oh.
There was a small candlestick on top of the piano. I lit it with my lighter. Adds to the ambiance, doesn't it?
That it does.
There was a picture hung on the wall beside the piano. There were 3 people on this one, too. Those do not look like people to me. There was a mom and 2 little girls playing together. It's Nami and Naomi. Hey, Nami. Something caught my attention about that picture. Why are there 3 people there? Nami's gaze was fixated on the picture. I mean, why wouldn't there be 3 people? That's the 3 people that whoever it is wanted to paint. She looked pale somehow, and I could see beads of sweat in her forehead. Are you not feeling good there, Nami? I touched Nami's shoulder, and she muttered under her breath.
It can't be. It can't.
Whoa. Suddenly the wind blew, pushing the curtains into the candles and setting them on fire. They're getting set on fire. The curtain had wrapped around Nami's face. What the frick? Get back! I pulled Nami by the hand. She stumbled away from the piano. The fire was spreading over more and more of the curtain, setting it ablaze, and the flames reached all the way up to the ceiling. This is bad. We've got to put it out. I looked around in a panic, but I couldn't find anything that would be able to extinguish the fire. My mind raced as I tried to remember which rooms in this mansion had water. Maybe the bathroom does. A, I know the entrance. B, I know the bathroom. C, oh, I know the kitchen. The entrance has the aquarium. I know. There was an aquarium at the entrance. You might be able to use it to put out the fire. Stay as far back as you can, okay, Nami? I ran straight to the entrance hall. Oh, but the aquarium is big. But then as I stood in front of the aquarium, scratching my head, how am I supposed to move this? The aquarium was too big to move. There's no way I could put out the fire just bringing it over bit by bit. I tried hard to think of any other places in this mansion that might have water. Bathroom or the kitchen? Kitchen. The bathroom has burning hot water. A lot of homes have fire extinguishers set in the kitchen. I raced down the hallway and opened the door to the dining room. I kicked the chairs out of the way, went around the counter, looking down into the kitchen. There we go. I grabbed the fire extinguisher and hustled back to the piano room. The ceiling had already filled up with black smoke. Half of the curtains had burned away completely, and the other half was blowing in the wind, sending small flecks of flame through the air. Nami stood right beside the piano, not even trying to stay away from the flames. What are you doing? Don't you realize you're in danger standing there? But Nami, looking like she'd been possessed, just kept staring at the fire. It was like she hadn't even heard me. I'm telling you, stay away from the fire! I pushed Nami away from the fire and raised the fire extinguisher to it. The smoke that was coming up was white. I started coughing, partially blinded by the smoke. Let the fire go! So the red of the fire through the white of the smoke and aimed the fire extinguisher at it. I sprayed the contents of the extinguisher at it. I eventually sprayed out the entire contents of the extinguisher. The wind blowing through the windows began clearing the smoke out of the room. The smoke that remained seemed more like a carpet of mist in the air. I saw tongues of fire that still remained here and there. I smashed them out with my shoes. Phew! Managed to put it out. The walls were charred black. The floor was wet, and the piano had managed to remain unburnt. Nami sat on the floor in a daze, a short distance away, as if she was shocked by what had just happened. We're okay now. I put out the fire. Nami said nothing at all. Don't worry. I'll take responsibility for the cleanup. Nami's mouth opened halfway, and then the words started spilling out. Nami, Naomi, that's right. I remembered. That's it. I felt it when I came in, somewhere. Nami stood up slowly, approached the piano, and started doing something strange. Yeah, squatting down like this made me realize.
I had always seen the piano from this perspective. I watched Mom playing it, and Naomi was here too. But the fire... Fire!
Nami's face twisted up and she screamed.
Nami!
I raised my voice at her and she was startled, looking at me as if she had just remembered that I was there.
Shorty.
What's gotten into you?
Shorty, I grew up in this house. I used to live here.
Huh?
I knew it. I remembered it from the fire just now. This was my childhood home.
No way. You never told me about this place before. Why would you keep it a secret?
I didn't keep it a secret. I only just remembered it now. I had forgotten everything, all that happened when I was little. It's weird. Nobody ever told me about it, but I know now. I remembered it.
You can't be serious. I stood there in silence, totally shocked.
Oh, then that Mommy's got to be...
Nami stood up and dashed straight for the door. Nami, where are you going? I followed after her, grabbing hold of her just before she went through the door.
Let go of me. Let me go.
I'm not letting go of you.
That Mommy is one of my relatives. It's my mom. Or maybe my sister.
Calm down. I'm telling you, calm down. Nami struggled to break free from my grasp, but I kept holding on tight, and Nami eventually stopped fighting. Calm down? Nami looked like the blood had gone from her face, and her eyes weren't focusing on anything.
What could have happened while I was gone? What happened to my mom and my sister? What happened, Shorty?
She looked at me straight in the eyes. She was deep in thought. Come on. I have to find that mummy.
Come on, I have to find that mummy. If I don't find it, then I...
Hey, okay, but I'm not letting you do it alone. I'm going with you. We'll go together. B, before we get to that, you need to calm down. We're going together. Okay, but I'm not letting you do it alone. I'm going with you. We'll go together. Nami and I left the piano room. I really want to know what happened here. I mean, there has to be a reason that revenge is on the menu. It was silent in the hall, as if nothing had happened. We should start searching from the second floor, shouldn't we? We slowly trudged upstairs. Nami had said what she said, but it made no sense to me. She'd found her name here, and we'd experienced all sorts of strange things, but she's just confused. Once we've checked through everything, we'll get some rest on the sofa. Tomorrow, the two of us will probably be having a good laugh about all of this. Okay, should we start checking from the second floor? As we headed up to the second floor hallway, I turned and looked behind me. Huh? Nami wasn't there. Did I lose her somewhere? Where? We went up a staircase. I was sure she was right behind me. A, I looked down into the hall on the first floor. B, where did you go? I checked down the second floor hallway. I think I would look down into the hall because she was behind me, although I think she's probably in the second floor hallway. I looked down into the hall on the first floor. Oh, danger music. When I turned around to face the sudden sound I'd heard, I saw a wheelchair with nobody on it racing towards me at high speed. Whoa! I had dodged the wheelchair by the skin of my teeth. The wheelchair collided with the handrail of the stairs. If it had hit me, I might have fallen down the stairs along with the wheelchair. But there was something else that I was more concerned about. I caught a glimpse of the person who'd thrust the wheelchair toward me. It looked like Nami, or it was Naomi. Could she have done it? That was going too far to just be a joke. Could the confusion that she was feeling have driven her crazy? Glancing at the wheelchair, I noticed something silver shining on it. It was a wrench. Oh, hey, this is my wrench. The wrench was wrapped in tape and had my name, Shorty, written on it. Write your name on your wrenches? I've been using it to do maintenance on my car. Who brought this here? At that moment, a door opened nearby. Oh, Nami. Nami had a stoic look on her face. You had me worried there. We think she pushed a wheelchair at us and tried to kill us, but, we're just going to be like, oh, Nami. I ran over to her, but Nami took one look at me, stepped back into the room she was in, and shut the door. Hey. I dashed over and opened the door. Nami had buried her face into the bed on the right-hand corner of the room. What happened, Nami? Nami didn't look up. She just pointed at the desk. It looked like she had just started crying. There was a single photograph on the desk. Wow, Nami, you look so live action. And they look like twins. And look, I think one has a cat on her shirt and one has a butterfly. It was an old photograph with a sepia color tone. In the photo were two girls, probably around 3 years old, standing next to each other, wearing the same white blouse. Not only were they wearing matching clothes, they looked perfectly alike. I'm guessing they were identical twins, conceived from a single egg. Who says that like that? When I saw the photo, I immediately understood what Nami was thinking, but I asked her anyway. So, what's the big deal? Wow.
That photo. She looks like me, doesn't she?
I could hear Nami's voice coming from under the bedsheets. It sounded like she was crying. How so? I don't see the resemblance.
Take a closer look, then.
Why? There's no way either of these little girls turned into a girl as beautiful as you. Wow! Nami, just shaming the children.
Stop it. That's enough.
Enough of what?
Look at the name tags pinned on their chests.
How would we be able to see that in the photo? Name tags. The two girls in the photo did have name tags pinned to their chests. One was Nami and the other was Naomi. So what? It's just a coincidence. When I hesitated to say any more, Nami looked up at me. The second our eyes met, she covered her face with her hands and jumped straight out of the room. That's a pretty big jump. It was all too much. Well, we're going to end this part here, though, because we're already save state. Yes, because we're already over 50 minutes in. But what do you think is going on? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.